Hi, welcome. Thanks for joining us. We are here with two of our biologists from the Florida Biodiversity Collection. We're going to learn about all sorts of specimens and interesting ways that we learn about Florida's marine waters from Eric and Corinne. Hi, guys. How are you?
Hello, good. My name is Eric Post. I am the ichthyology collection manager at the Florida Biodiversity Collection. So I oversee all of the operations of the fish collection and all things fish.
Hello, I'm Corinne Fuchs. I'm the marine invertebrate collection manager at the Florida Biodiversity Collection. I oversee the collection of marine invertebrates. That's everything from crabs and snails and clams to really strange worms you've never heard of and sea squirts.
So today we're going to learn a bit about the collection, what it tells us, and what its purpose is. What exactly is the collection and why is it important?
So the Florida Biodiversity Collection, like other natural history collections, is cataloging and keeping track of the biodiversity in Florida waters. And like most collections, we do that by keeping vouchers, keeping specimens, and preserving them. And one of the most exciting things about that is oftentimes we'll have animals that are these little time capsules from like the 1960s, the 1970s, where naturally you can't go back in time and get any information. When collections started happening, we didn't have as good a grasp on DNA and genetics. And now we actually can go back in time through these animals and get DNA when we weren't even able to do that.
Another aspect of natural history collections and the Florida Biodiversity Collection in particular is not only are we cataloging the biodiversity, like the particular specimens in time and place, that's just the beginning. We retain these specimens and they can be used for a whole variety of different purposes. Some people call us specimen librarians, for example, because these are available for loan. Scientists can request these for loan, just like you might check out a library book, to serve a whole variety of different research purposes, anything from epidemiology to tracking invasive species, education and outreach. We often loan these out for classroom experiences and outreach events. So that's just another reason for the importance and purpose behind these natural history collections like us.
What exactly does biodiversity mean and why is it so important to our world?
Biodiversity is the kind of cumulative total spread of life on our planet. We're looking at different species of fish, different species of sea snails and sea slugs, basically the whole breadth of different living things on the planet. Biodiversity is very, very important to the planet and you and I as humans. For example, we're all Floridians. We deal with hurricanes every year, and biodiversity actually helps protect us from the effects of those hurricanes, because when we have a large variety of corals off our waters and a large healthy community of mangroves with lots of animals interacting inside them, those communities are stronger and better at bouncing back from big stuff like hurricanes. And that means that they're also going to be better at protecting us from the storm surge and increased flooding that come with those storms.
Yeah, biodiversity also has, I think, a really important value with respect to recreation and aesthetics as well. You know, here in Florida, we're a big tourist destination. People come here to go scuba diving, they go snorkeling. You know, people come here to go bird watching. Well, bird watching wouldn't be nearly as exciting if all you saw was the same species of bird all the time. That's another, I think, really important aspect of biodiversity here in Florida and all across the world. It really is a driver of tourism.
Thanks so much for sharing that with us. So I know that you work in the collection, which is essentially keeping track of the biodiversity in our waters. And I know you have some stuff to share with us.
We have several specimens of fairly unique fishes called oarfishes. These are rather rare animals. They live down in the depths of the ocean. They're not easy to collect. They're often just found actually washed up on beaches, and that's where we get a lot of them from. You can see one of the oarfishes I have here laid out on the table. That's about like 7 feet or so. So these are very long ribbon-like animals. These are what were originally mistaken for as sea serpents in the days of old. We've got an angel shark that's pretty cool too. There's a lot of hidden biodiversity in angel sharks. That's where you have two different species. They look exactly the same, but they're actually different species. We can tease out the diversity there with DNA samples.
So the invertebrate collection has a whole host of invertebrates, and that's any animal that doesn't have a spine like we have. All the kind of weird, creepy crawlies you think of, probably an invertebrate. Like this basket star here, which are symmetrical around a circular area, and their arms radiate out from that. Or they can be anything from sponges, which hardly even kind of look like an animal. This is Bathynomus giganteus. It is the giant deep sea isopod. It looks very much like a roly-poly because it's very closely related to a roly-poly. They, just like a roly-poly, can ball up to defend themselves, which is super cool. It's like a little armadillo. And then, like most other arthropods, right, they've got a ton of legs, jointed legs, and they have a hard exoskeleton to protect them from anything that might crush them or want to eat them.
Eric, you primarily study vertebrates, which means they do have backbones, such as fish. Do you have a couple to show us?
Yeah, I have this one here. This is a pretty cool one. This is one of my favorite species. Kind of hold this up so you can see. So this is a tripod fish. You can see those long sort of filamentous fin rays. This is a deep water species. They'll just kind of sit there motionless with their little fin filaments on the bottom, kind of supporting themselves like a tripod. And so they just kind of sit there like that and wait for some sort of a prey or food item. So yeah, that's our tripod fish. Very, very cool little animal.
Wow, we really can learn so much through biodiversity collections, and we thank you so much for joining, everyone. If you want to learn more about our Florida biodiversity collection at the Fish and Wildlife Research Institute, feel free to check out our website. Thanks, Eric. Thanks, Corinne.
Thank you.
Welcome.